Hi friends, we would like you to subscribe and also press the bell icon so that you'll get the notifications from YouTube. Hi viewers, welcome back to Fountainhead VEDA. So continuing on the corporate side, let's go meet Mr. Ambwani and let's all listen to him, and I sincerely hope it's going to create huge impact on the current youngsters. So I was wondering, mostly the Sindhi families have business as a focus. How come you didn't get into business at all, or your families? That's what also I was wondering.
Yeah, I think
You
it's
became
an
a
interesting
professional.
question. I think this again probably comes from like my father was in service. He was a lawyer, and he did his law from Pune University. And because that time Bombay and Sindh was almost together, there was one big university, Pune and Bombay University. So he was in Ferguson College in Pune. So he was a professional, and after that he joined Indian Police Service, so which was also a professional service. So I think mentally I never even thought about going into business, because you see the family is like this, and I see it has its own charm of like you get the respect in the society, and okay, you may not have big money, but at least you are well respected in the society, and you are playing an important role in life. So I think maybe I never really thought about going into business.
I see. Great,
But you
great.
are absolutely right, because also I think a lot of Sindhis, since you're talking of history, a lot of Sindhis after displacement were not qualified. So they
Oh,
came to they came to say Ulhasnagar camp and thing like that. Most of the Sindhis went to Ulhasnagar, yeah, in Bombay, and there was a camp in Kalyan. So these guys were displaced. They didn't have any real skills with them. So many of them really started from the bottom. They started selling small things in the train, the local train. And so I know of so many stories where people have grown from selling combs and things like that in the local train and to survive. And then they became bigger and bigger, and they got into businesses. They went into movie production. So later on, many of them actually success stories.
yeah, absolutely. Great success stories. I think all over the world, you have Hong Kong, the financial markets are controlled by Sindhis or to a great
Yeah, I
extent.
think one of the things I have learned, and I think it's probably true, that people who are displaced have nothing to lose.
Okay.
So, and they are very enterprising because they have to survive.
Right.
So they have no comfort of family or anything, right? So whatever comes, they will have to do it,
Right.
and they're prepared to do anything. I
Right.
mean, they're not selective about this job is bad, that job is good, etc., etc. So like there were Sindhis who said, okay, मेरे को मिठाई बनाना आता है, let me make mithai,
Okay.
and they became very good in making mithai and selling mithai.
Right.
There is some Sindhis who said, let me start making pani puri. So they
Right.
became good in making pani puri. So,
Right.
so this enterprise was not a real choice. For many of them, it became an only route.
Yeah. Only route to sir. Great, sir. So on the your balloon, allowing the balloon to fly or let the balloon fly, I remember. I think my lever days, Hindustan lever days. I think your colleague or your friend, Mr. Prem Kamath, was the head of
Yeah,
business in South that time.
yeah,
He,
yeah, yeah.
he became the HR director for Unilever.
Yeah, he's a good friend. Yeah.
Yeah, and his colleagues were traveling to my marketplace.
Mm.
So what I found a great difference, not that I'm supporting IIM or IITs or something like that. The people, the managers who came from the ranks, they were quickly saying, morning 9 o'clock, did the handcart go to the market? Did the stocks reach the stockist? Did the retail stops or first call has been made at 9? So that was a huge discipline in Hindustan Lever. But when these managers came in, they were saying they were never talking about these discipline or rigmaroles. They were only talking about what is that when they visit, what is that they can learn from them. So they were really different personalities to all of us. They used to say, "You carry on with your work. I'm not going to come and do policing what you're doing work or something like that." I will join you wherever you are. I'll observe. They will never say anything about our market practices, like what kind of a discussion. Then in the evenings, they'll sit down and really give us a great points how to increase the distribution strength. And they were concentrating on how to improve our skills. They were never throwing their weight. That's what you are, you're saying. That is what you exactly you practice through your career. And a lot of fans you have in Johnson. I come to know that you've got so many people who love you for your quality because you never threw your weight at all on them. And that's what you said, the Christmas tree or the different approach.
Actually, it's very interesting. The other day also, one of the in this we are doing these webinars with the J&J colleagues who are getting together and chatting. So when I was speaking, one of the sales guys told this story, and he says we always had this one managing director prior to me, and people never saw him ever. I mean,
Yeah.
it was rare to see him.
Yeah.
And he said now this new guy came, and he came to Calcutta to work with the field people very soon after arrival. So these guys were all kind of getting prepped up and prepared to receive this new managing director.
Yeah.
So he says he came, and then he just he worked with us and as a normal thing and chatted and all that. Then he says, "Where are we eating lunch?" So he said we had so he said we had planned the lunch already that we'll go to some 5-star hotel and things like that. So then he said no. He asked the salesperson, as a salesman, "Okay, where do you eat?" So he said, "Sir, you can't go there. It's a dhaba." So I said, "No, but food must be good. So what do you eat?" So he said, "No, there's a small place they make biryani." So I said, "Let's go there." So he said, then we all of us went to eat biryani in that place. And he said then this guy was telling this story. He says then the news traveled immediately across the sales system that okay, I mean this guy is very different from the previous guys because he doesn't care. He's okay. I mean he says, "Oh, let's go." And we sat in that and lovely biryani, and I noted down the name of that place. That next time near Park Street, if I'm coming, we'll eat there. So, so these guys, I think the humility helps a lot.
Yeah. Not only
And
humility, I think you must have been really making them very comfortable about themselves to move with you. And
I
second
think
thing is you would like to contribute to their performance more than your own.
yeah, he said that. He said the moment he said that those days mobile phone was not there, but salespeople had a system of communicating.
Yeah.
So he said suddenly all the salespeople said, now we'll enjoy working in the field because we got a different guy. So it's the talking about humility. I think that's something I was born with.
Okay.
What you're talking about is humility was I was born with because I have seen that in my family. My parents, both of them, mother, father, were freedom fighters. So they have gone through a struggle. They have been in the jail and things like that. So I think humility is something which, like I can say, definitely I was born with. So, I mean, because and plus my father also was encouraging me, and he used to teach me Gita lessons, and we used to attend a talk on Gita, etc. So one thing fundamentally I have learned in life, which is I think all people are equal. In the end, everyone is equal.
Right.
Because everyone is a representative of only one person, which is the God. Okay. So everyone is same. So I think to say that this guy is male, that guy is female, this guy is this caste, that guy is that caste, is all created by us. Because essentially everyone is the same. All of them have the brain, all of them have a body, all of them have emotions, and all of them finally are being driven by some kind of energy, which can be called Atma. Because without that energy, nothing will work, right? So I had a very strong fundamental belief that there is no need to disrespect anyone.
Right.
Because they are all equal.
Right.
You're not unequal to anyone.
Sure.
Okay.
But can I, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
no, so
can I ask you,
Yeah,
Can I ask you something slightly radical question on this approach?
yeah,
You are working for a multinational, and multinationals are normally driven by targets and performances.
yes.
Correct? If you miss your bottom line, maybe you'll be nicely told to be move on to some other place. That has been the real work-life balance was missing in all the performance-driven companies. If you are going to talk of this humility and nice fellow and all that, were you missing targets or you are also achieving targets? That's why you have been there for long. How do
Actually,
you
this
balance this?
no, this is a very good question. Let me answer it. You know, a lot of people believe that humility is negative for leadership.
Okay.
Actually, it is not.
Right.
Because what happens in humility is that people get connected to you, and so they work extra to make sure that you are okay. So like I can tell you, I always had this strong feeling as a leader that I have so many people supporting me, so many people supporting me across the company, right? And there is the distributor salesman, there is my own salesman, there is the manufacturing guy, there are these third party guys. So everyone is working towards welfare of the company, right? So I always felt that I'm getting tremendous support from all these, and I used to show respect to that support. In fact, one of the other day also I got a note from, I mean, I it's so surprising that people still write to me notes. And so this guy wrote me a note because now we are connected because of WhatsApp and everything, right? And so he said, I was working as a salesperson with you, and I still remember what you said in one of the sales conferences. And then he wrote, he says, you told us that the food on your plate comes from us. I still remember that. So
Wow.
the people remember those kind of things, because I now that he mentioned it, I remembered that yes, I did say that, and I honestly believe that you may be managing director, but the only person who is getting you the business and bringing you income is the guy in the sales team, the guy who goes out and gets the business. So you must show tremendous respect to these guys who are actually producing for you,
Right.
the salesman or the worker in the factory. So those are the guys who are actually producing the goods, right?
Yeah.
And these are the guys who are selling the goods. You are sitting like on the top, right?
Right.
But these are the guys who are actually feeding you, not the other way around.
Right.
Like a lot of people think I am giving the salary.
Right.
So in I was telling this salesman, I'm not giving you salary. You are giving my salary.
Right.
It's
I
the other way
understood.
around. Because you are
Right.
the guys who are wealth creators.
Right. But
So
what was your experience in terms of you never started as a managing director? You would have started as a management trainee or something like that in one of
yes,
the concepts. You were also to perform a particular task, achieve sales target, then only you can go. Were
right.
you similarly, were you aggressive when you started the career or you became mellow down, started respecting more people? Or how was it? Like, is your career graph and taught you all these qualities or how was it like?
No, I started as a brand manager.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and I think my interactions were never aggressive.
Uh-huh.
So the brand managers, my task was really to promote the brand, bring new products into the system,
Mhm.
etc. Right. So I used to work very closely with the R&D people,
Mhm.
research development people, and they used to also like working with me because unlike some of the other managers, I was never pushing them. I used to try and understand what their issues are, and I used to request them that can you do this or can you do that, etc., etc. So I used to assume that they are putting their best effort. So there's no need to fight with them. In fact, you should collaborate with them. So I was very collaborative,
Okay.
not
Excellent.
aggressive.
A very beautiful point.
Uh,
Yeah.
and I was sharing the other day in one of the business schools asked me to come and give a talk and sharing with them this story specifically. I said there were other brand managers and I was there, right?
Mm.
Now, other brand managers were more aggressive.
Mm.
That why have you not done this? And in a review meeting or what, this product was promised me on this. I never had any fight with any of them. So they
Okay.
used to. So now what happens if you approach that way? I think they were secretly working more for me.
I understood this point. I think you have been following this from your younger days, I guess.
Yeah.
But did you not face any challenging situation in your life where you promised a particular brand pull and the brand pull didn't take place and they are trying to blame you, how did you handle it, if at all, if such kind of
No,
situation?
no, there have been always in times when I didn't do well at all.
Yeah,
So there were and the but thing is that I always believe that results can happen good or bad, but your processes must be right.
right. No, no,
So
you are talking about Bhagavad Gita, right? So
no, no,
you're
not that. I
really
think it's a reality. See, because results depend on so many external factors.
right,
Okay, like today, for example, in the COVID time, none of the companies are performing well
right,
because of the situation that they are facing, right?
right.
So does it mean that their capability is bad? Does it mean their managing director should be sacked?
Yeah,
So I think we need to understand that results depend on many other factors other than your effort.
right.
And in fact, I have always, in very interesting story, there was used to be a review with the managing director every
Mhm,
quarter on how the business is. So one quarter our business was really bad,
mhm,
really bad. So other and in the joint review, all the general managers are there and like bit nervous, and everyone is looking to my presentation because they know that I have done very badly.
mhm,
So I had only one slide for the managing director. I said this is the slide which reflects our performance,
mhm,
and this does not actually show our potential or
mhm.
our capability. And then let me just go on and tell you what we are planning to do in the next 3 quarters. So there was no more questions asked. It was surprising. Nobody asked any more questions after that.
The past
Yeah,
is gone. Let's talk about it next.
yeah.
That's
So
okay.
it was just the attitude of forgetting the past and accepting the reality that last quarter was very bad.
Yeah.
I didn't even use the word very bad. I
Mhm,
just said this was the performance in the quarter,
mhm.
right? And this does not reflect either our capability or our potential.
Okay.
And so let's move on to the next 3 quarters. So it was just recognizing the reality and saying, I want to move on. Let me share the plans for the future. Now that's an attitude issue.
Yeah, lovely.
And
Beautiful.
because many people will be very defensive. They'll say, okay, I didn't meet this or I didn't do that or this, explaining the past.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I try to avoid. I
Yeah.
don't explain the past. I
Okay.
accept the past, and I say
Okay.
this is reality, and
Right.
and you can't do anything about the reality. So there's no point justifying the past.
Great. Great. But the point is, were you taking stiff target growth or you were avoiding the stiff target growth? I'm
Sorry.
generally, most of the companies say the growth should be something 50% growth, 15% growth, 30% growth, or whatever they say. Were you avoiding such stiff growth targets also, or how was your plan? If the company gives you grow at a 25%,
No, no. I think we always met the target most
I
of
see.
the time. We always met the target. It is once in a way you will have some setback in a quarter or things like that.
No, no, I
But
understood that. But
uh,
it is amazing to know with this kind of a very beautiful, humane style, you could manage the targets also and perform very well. That is a real message to the people.
yeah, in fact, it is surprising. Permacell, I did well because I started in Permacell business, which was unrelated to current J&J business, but I did pretty well, and people took a risk on me. That's another thing I want to tell you.
Okay.
Like my boss, I have zero experience of sales. I joined as a brand manager.
That's what I was about to ask you. Yeah, good.
So I did brand management, marketing management. So I joined in 75. So by 1980, which is only 5 years after I joined the company, the boss took a risk and made me the general sales manager.
Oh,
So it's a big move from
yeah, marketing
marketing
and yeah,
marketing to a line function.
correct.
And so when I think back, why did he take that risk? I was not a very good speaker either. So he told me you should go and attend Nazareth
Education.
Academy and learn how to speak and give talk and all that. So I said fine. So I went ahead and signed up for the lectures and learning of speaking skills, right? So in fact, it was very beneficial. So he said that we'll promote you next, after after the annual conference, he mentioned to me that we are planning to put you into sales. And And there was a general sales manager much senior to me already there. So then he was given some other task anyway. So but radical change, taking a risk on a young guy to become the general sales manager. So radical change. So
What do you think? What you found in you?
that I was 80, I was given the general management of Pharmacell, and by 85, I was the vice president for largest business. So again, company took a big risk to put somebody who, again, when I went to the consumer business and hospital business, zero experience in both those businesses, no knowledge, nothing. I had a lot of senior people obviously reporting to me because consumer medical business is the biggest business at the time. And most people who joined Johnson Johnson working in that territory, right? So Mr. Palekar was MD of Johnson Johnson for like, I think 25 years plus, something like that.
Hi friends, we would like you to subscribe and also press the bell icon so that you'll get the notifications from YouTube.